sometimes be easy to forget or easy to fail to recognize the presence of God in our lives. Sometimes we can't quite discern the voice of God. Other times we fail to recognize the presence of Christ in our midst. In yesterday's first reading, Samuel was called by God 4 times in his sleep. Each of the first 3 times God calls, Samuel rises from his sleep and runs to Eli, saying, "Here I am." God is calling the youth, but he is unable to discern the voice of God. You might say it is confused amidst the other voices and noises that compete for his attention. And this leads him a little bit off course and delays him from hearing the voice of God. I find it interesting that the passage says, at that time Samuel was not yet familiar with the Lord, because the Lord had not revealed anything to him as yet. Finally, after Samuel rose the 3rd time, it was Eli who realized that it was the Lord who was calling Samuel. And Eli instructs Samuel that if he is awoken again to say, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening." We see a parallel to this in the gospel. The 2 disciples are walking with John the Baptist, and it is only when John identifies Jesus as the Lamb of God that the 2 disciples followed after Jesus. I love the question that Jesus asked the disciples. What are you looking for? But I love even more the question the disciples returned to him. Rabbi, where are you staying? This is much more than a question of where Jesus was spending the night. It is a question of, who are you? Where are you from? Where does your heart reside? They see in Jesus something beyond this world, something beyond words. They want to get at the heart of who Jesus is. They want to get to that place from which Jesus sees the world and try to see the world from that place. They want to reside in the heart of Jesus. They desire Christ's vision. These readings bring about 2 very big questions. How do I discern the voice of God? And Jesus, who are you? The readings make a strong case for the role of spiritual mentors, parents, friends, campus ministers, priests, or anyone discerning enough to point us toward God. But it also asks us to be diligent in our prayer and in our pursuit of God. Ask God to reveal God's self to you. Follow Samuel's example and pray. Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. And always remember that our staff is here to walk with you and help you discern the voice of God.